Hi children, good morning. This is Aruna Rajaputra, your social studies teacher with today's topic History of India for class 4 CBSE. First, let us learn more about the timelines. Before we study about history, let us know more about timelines. As you know, timeline tell us what happened and when it happened. A timeline is a line of dates in which all the dates related to a certain event or person are arranged in the right order. It is easy to make timelines for the people around us and for events that took place recently, but the problem arises when we have to make timelines about the people who lived a long time ago and events that happened long ago. To solve this problem, historians use a special system of counting the years. In this system, the birth of Jesus Christ is taken as the commencement of the calendar. The years before his birth are written as before Christ BC, and years after the birth are written as AD. AD stands for Anno Domini. Anno Domini is a Latin word which means in the year of our Lord. Let us understand this by drawing a timeline. Here is a timeline. Here from year 1 to 250, which are marked in red color arrow. All these years are before the birth of Jesus Christ, that is BC. And in this timeline from the year 1 to 250, which are marked with arrow green color, all these years are after the birth of Jesus Christ AD. When we say an event happened in 200 BC, we mean that it happened 200 years before the birth of Christ, and when we say an event happened in AD 200, we mean that it happened 200 years after the birth of Jesus Christ. And nowadays, some historians use BCE, that is before Common Era, instead of BC, and CE, Common Era, instead of AD. Here, Indian history can be broadly classified into three periods. The ancient period from prehistory to AD 600, the medieval period from AD 700 to AD 1750, and the modern period from AD 1750 to the present day. Here, from prehistory to AD 600, it is ancient period, and from 700 AD to 1750 AD, that is medieval period, and from 1750 to till present is a modern period. Let us learn about the modern period. Let us learn about the ancient period. The ancient period starts with the Indus Valley civilization near River Indus, better known as the Harappan civilization. This map shows us the extent of Harappan civilization. Here is mother goddess of Harappan culture and the figure of a male god from Harappa. Around 1500 BC, tribes came from Central Asia called Aryans came to India and drove away the local people whom they called Dasa slaves. The Aryans settled here, cultivated crops, domesticated animals and propagated their culture. A number of books, mainly the Vedas, the Upanishads and also the epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana were written during this period. As a result, this period became very famous as Vedic age. In 326 BC, the Greek ruler Alexander, who was the world's greatest conqueror, came to India and defeated the King Porus of Punjab. However, he was impressed by the Porus' bravery and decided to go back after returning him all his territories. He died on his way back home in 323 BC. Here you can see the battle between Alexander and Porus. In the same year, Chandragupta Maurya became the emperor of Magadha, a province near the present-day Patna, with the help of his mentor here Chanakya, and his empire was known as Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta Maurya's grandson Ashoka sat on the throne after him. Ashoka, here you can see, Ashoka was a great ruler who won many battles. The battle of Kalinga being the last one. This battle changed his life as it has caused a lot of bloodshed. He became the follower of the Gautam Buddha. He propagated his messages of peace and love to the people through inscriptions on rocks and the pillars. Here you can see the empire of the Ashoka. After the Mauryans, the ancient period saw the rise of Guptas who ruled over India in the 4th and 5th centuries AD. They were great rulers and India flourished under their rule financially, culturally and literally. Hence, this period is known as the Golden Age of India. Here, this map shows us the Gupta's empire. Next, medieval period. At that time, India was a rich country and so attracted many soldiers, raiders. Once again, I'll read medieval period. At that time, India was a rich country and so attracted many raiders, most of them being from Central Asia. In AD 1001, Muhammad Ghazni invaded India and carried away huge wealth. 150 years later, Muhammad Ghori invaded India. He won a large number of territories. He appointed one of his generals, Qutbuddin Aibak, as a governor. After Muhammad Ghori's death, Qutbuddin Aibak became the ruler. He is called the founder of Delhi Sultanate. He was succeeded by Iltutmish, Razia Sultan and Balban. After the decline of Delhi Sultanate, Babur took over the throne and started the Mughal Empire, which saw rulers like Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Among them, Akbar, here you can see, was the strongest and the wisest Mughal ruler, and India flourished at its best during his reign. Akbar's grandson, here you can see Shah Jahan. After Akbar's grandson Shah Jahan's reign saw the growth of art and culture in India. He built many monuments in India like the Taj Mahal and Red Fort. He was succeeded by his son Aurangzeb, after which the Mughal Empire saw its downfall. The last Mughal emperor was Bahadur Shah Zafar, after which the British took over. Here you can see important Mughal emperors, major campaigns and the events. Here you can see the Babur, 1526 to 1530 AD. Here you can see Humayun, 1530 to 1556 AD. Here you can see Akbar, 1556 to 1605 AD. Jahangir, 1605 to 1627 AD. Shah Jahan, 1627 to 1658 AD. Aurangzeb, 1658 to 1707 AD. Here you can see the Akbar's reign. Next is a modern period, children. The Europeans first visited India for the purpose of trade during Jahangir's reign. The French, the Dutch and the Portuguese who had come to India mainly for the trade of the spices lost to the British, who had become the masters of all traders. They set up the English East India Company and gradually started annexing small territories and interfering with the administration of the country. In AD 1757, the British defeated Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the ruler of Bengal, and captured the Bengal. Slowly, the whole of India came under their control. In May 1857, Indians revolted against the British but were suppressed and the Indian Empire was taken over by the Queen of England. Several political organizations were formed by educated Indians to free India from the British rule. The Indian National Congress was the most important organization. Here you can see Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was the most important leader. Under the guidance based on the principles of truth and non-violence, India finally got the independence on 15th August 1947. And the task for this video is, children, write few sentences about Kalinga War and the greatness of Ashoka. The task 2 is, read the religious literary sources like Vedas, Upanishads and epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata. Thank you all, children. Have a wonderful day.